Hey, hey, who's up still? Who is up? I am Tiffany. I am your healthcare BFF, and I wanted to chat with you. And I know it's 1 in the morning, but I'm up, you're up, so let's talk. Let's see. I'm going to enable chat. Make sure I enable chat. No idea how to do that. There we go. All right, okay. So, what are we talking about here? Unless you're living under a rock, we all know about the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, that was unalived on December 4th at 6:46 a.m. in Midtown Manhattan. Okay. So when I first hear this, I'm like, whoa, Midtown Manhattan, right? Too much money, too many cameras. They'll have a video soon. All right, great. So as the day goes on, of course, they've got stuff. And they've got a video where Brian Thompson is just being, you know, virtually assassinated. And there is a lone gunman, and he just really, in a brazen fashion, in broad daylight, came along behind Brian Thompson, shot him several times, and unalived him. Again, broad daylight, Midtown Manhattan. A lot of money in Midtown Manhattan, so you already knew that they were going to find out who it was. There was going to be video, there was going to be whatever. So not even the day is over, and they've got video of it. They've got video of, let's see, what did I say? Let's see. They've got video of Brian Thompson on the 4th going to an investor meeting for United Healthcare. 6:46 in the morning. He's got a presentation at 8. He's walking across the street. No security, all by himself. All right, what are you going to do? So goes from one hotel across the street to the Hotel Hilton, where the investors meeting is. And in that time, a lone gunman comes up behind him and, as I said, virtually assassinates the guy. I mean, really, this guy didn't have a chance. And it was, let's see, an identified gunman opened fire on Thompson, shooting him in the leg and chest. Now, as I saw the video, I'm thinking, this guy, he's not a pro. There's no way. There's no way. He's not a pro, but he was quite comfortable walking up to Thompson or behind Thompson and using that gun, even though it jammed a few times, to unalive him in the middle of the street. He shot Thompson several times, walked off. Okay. Walks off, goes across the street. Then he goes to get an e-bike, apparently. One of those bikes where you can just hop on, you can use it, take from place to place in New York City. Wow. And he takes the e-bike into Central Park, where the infamous backpack that he had on during the crime was found. Now, back backpacks found with Monopoly money, of all things, and a Tommy Hilfiger jacket. Ugh, who wears Tommy Hilfiger? So anyway, they find that in the park. I think it was a bit of irony, actually. So, massive manhunt for this shooter. All right. We see he gets away. He's on the bike. He's in the cab. There's all kinds of images. There's all kinds of everything going on. They're trying to find this guy. I wish that they would find missing children as fast as they found the gunman. But I digress. So, while Luigi, basically because we all know who they're blaming, gets away, he gets to Port Authority and gets out of town. The police see him go into Port Authority. They don't see him come out. Okay, fine. And Port Authority has buses that will go anywhere in America. You can get connections to go all the way to California if need be. And to be honest, that's where I thought he would be. I thought maybe he's not a Navy SEAL or, one of those cool snipers and stuff. I want to be a sniper one day. But he wasn't that, because no sniper would leave camera evidence at Starbucks, nor would they leave a water bottle or any kind of candy wrappers. I've seen enough movies to know that snipers don't leave anything behind, usually including witnesses. But there was a lady that when this was happening, I think was lady, had actually coffee in her hand and ran off. So that only showed that this was a targeted hit toward Thompson, direct, personal. It was one-on-one. Now, he takes off, he gets to Port Authority. Meanwhile, everybody back here, they're investigating. Now, this investors meeting that Thompson was supposed to do a presentation to, but did not arrive at, obviously, from what I understand in different reports, continued until they got the news. And I get it. The Hilton is so block long, huge that, you wouldn't hear about a murder as soon as it happened. I mean, tomato, 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 tomato. And unaliving as soon as it happened. Would you? Well, I guess they canceled it after they heard, and it was a big loss for United Healthcare, or so they said. I couldn't tell, though, because I didn't see any United Healthcare's reward money along with the NYPD or FBI. But I don't know enough about reward stuff and how that goes. I don't know if it's got to be government agencies or whoever. But if he was so valuable and making 10.2 per year, I would think that he would get some kind of love, some kind of something. And that's okay. They didn't do it. Fine. Now, so Thompson, we find out more about him after his unaliving. He was going to report a $30 billion, with a B, $30 billion profit from United Healthcare. And I've been in healthcare for a really long time, since 1998, and I've been in social work since 1995. So I've seen a lot when it comes to social services and healthcare and how they work. So the only way you get 30 billion is by denying care. It's the only way. The only way you get 30 billion is by denying care to the people that you sold it to. Not only that, by making sure that great doctors that deserve the money they make get less and less each year. That's how we get up to that 30 billion. Can you imagine? It wasn't even 30 million, okay, which is a lot of money. It was $30 billion with a B. To me, it looked like Thompson had a little spring in his step when he was going. However, his wife said he got threats. Something about a lack of coverage, something. We're not entirely sure. But he didn't have security, even though he had reported threats. And I don't know why he didn't, but that's neither here nor there, because no one deserves to be unalived in the middle of the street like a dog. But this particular person was no angel. No angel. Seems that United Healthcare denied their patients care to the tune of 32%, which means they denied 32% of the claims that they promised people they would pay. See, people pay their premiums and just assume you're going to be covered, but no, not with the advent of managed care. Managed care seemed to worm its way in and become the gatekeepers. Insurance companies have become the gatekeepers to whether we live or die. And 1 in 3 people came to you for care that you denied them. And a lot of people are saying, he's the CEO. He's so far removed from these things. He doesn't know. So you're going to report a $30 billion profit. Did you find it? Did you stumble on it? Did you find a suitcase with 30 billion in it? Because I would have to assume at an investors meeting, you're going to have to report how you found that 30. Taking money away from providers, taking care away from patients. Patients pay their premiums every month. God forbid if they don't. But then insurance companies come and deny them the very service that they sold them. A claim denial is like this to me. You're in the drive-through line, whatever restaurant you like. You're in the drive-through line, right? You get to the speaker and you're saying, oh yeah, I want this, I want that, I want all these things. Okay, and they tell you a price. You agree, cool. Go to the next window. Pay at the first window. You pay at the first window, your money goes through, everything's fine, no issues, no problems. But you get to the second window and they're like, oh, hi, no, you can't have your food. You can't. Well, why not? I don't, you're going to have to just fill out this paperwork to get your meal. Excuse me? Who's dealing with that? And if you don't deal with it with a restaurant or a retail place shopping, then don't deal with it in your healthcare. Patients have power and they need to know it. I'll get into that later. So, back to Brian Thompson. Wasn't an angel. Had an appointment to go see the Department of Justice behind some insider trading. Yeah, same thing Martha went to jail for, I believe. was getting ready to report insider trading that so in that case, I don't imagine there were a lot of people happy with that. Couldn't have been. Couldn't have been people happy with that situation. So, who's to say there weren't any people, ready or after him behind that? I can't imagine. All right. So, going to the Department of Justice, that is enough to make anybody poop their pants, first of all. Okay. And having to get up there and talk about insider trading, ooh, bad thing. Insider trading is a huge no-no, right? I'm sure there were people that were not happy with that. All right. And he also had there was also a huge breach at United Healthcare, and there was healthcare information for millions of patients that was outed. There was a lot of stuff going on with United Healthcare, and they don't have the best reputation anyway in the game. They just don't. I've seen other places deny claims, and claims do get denied. They get denied behind let's see, medical bills that are that have errors on them. It's easy to mess up codes and invert numbers and letters, and they can go through and just cause a problem all the way till it gets to the patient or the consumer. And sadly, we're the ones that have to make up for those mistakes. And you can learn how to do all of those things. But anyway, so Brian, the wife said that he had gotten threats. He didn't feel that he needed security. Okay, fine. I mean, yeah, even just to go across the street, but now we see what happened. So, as I said, no one deserves what happened. That's really messed up. But I think people's empathy meter for Thompson and United Healthcare and the healthcare system itself, empathy meter is over, done, complete. Nobody wants to deal with, or have empathy for people that can sit at the head of a company that would make so many people suffer. 1 in 3 of their people have suffered. And it's sad to see, but I think a lot of times when people who aren't necessarily great people pass or, go in that manner, you're not going to find a lot of sympathy. You're just not. How many people were denied chemo, insulin, life-saving meds, infusions, surgeries? How many people were denied? $30 billion? How many grandmas had to pass to let that happen? Who suffered and passed? And I don't know about you, but I've had to watch a loved one waste away and go. And it's not fun. It's traumatic, and hurtful, and painful. And people that, aren't really that emotionally mature can run with that and do negative things, and negative begets negative. But I think our empathy meters are up with healthcare and people who benefit off of our suffering. We've had it. We're tired. We're very tired. And I truly believe, sadly, I believe that this is just the beginning. A lot of people now, they're going to go out and do just, things that are unreasonable. I mean, you can't run around unaliving people. You can't. I don't care what good book you find or who you believe in. It's in that good book not to take, the lives of other people. But again, this is a person who is looked at as taking the lives of millions. Who's the, are they, everyone's calling Luigi a killer. Was Brian Thompson one too? Because of what he sanctioned behind his desk? I heard a TikToker say, yeah, Luigi did it quick. Brian did it long term. I mean, how do you want Americans to feel? I don't think we're necessarily celebrating his unaliving as much as we are celebrating that people are paying attention now. Healthcare has always been an issue in this country from day one. But I think because so many people, so many companies have found so many ways to profit off of us. What are we supposed to feel? Brian Thompson and his wife and children, they all benefited from the suffering of others. And again, I don't advocate violence. I don't like violence, much less unaliving. There's no excuse. It's not going to solve anything. It's not going to change the things in healthcare that we want to change and that need to change. What needs to change is that patients and caregivers need to step up and claim their power, learn how to use it, and then we'll change delivery in this country. I believe it. That's, what I believe. So, yeah, we don't, listen, my ex-husband passed this year, and I thought I said some mean things. And my ex was terrible, horrible, horrible person. Horrible person. But really, I'm seeing thoughts and co-pays, prayers and deductibles. It's wild to watch. And it's my child coming into my room taking things she doesn't need to take. Anywho, so I think, we're just done. We're just done. How do you report a $30 billion profit at an insurance company? They've become the gatekeepers. We're not going to act like politics and legislation rather didn't have a play in that. We're not going to act like that. But people are dying, and they're doing their part by paying their premiums. You are selling them something that you are later taking back and telling them that they can't have. Who does that? What kind of business is that? And if it hasn't happened to you directly, you know someone this has happened to. You know someone, or some kind of healthcare horror story where something couldn't be covered. And this person even suffered more, or they had to, split their insulin in half and take a little bit here and take a little bit there, or they had to not take meds at all and had to choose between meds and eating. That happens here in America. That doesn't happen in the Netherlands, where everybody has college, healthcare. Me, I'd pay more taxes if everything was free, but it's not up to me. We, the people, it's not up to us. As you can see, there's a lot of things not up to we, the people. Another story for another time. Anyway, so now we get to the gunman. We get to the gunman, honey. Now let's see. As if you guys haven't seen a picture of him already, because apparently he is the hottest unaliver we've seen in years. So let's get a picture, because I'm telling you, it's going to be so simple to find a picture of him, really. As soon as I put his name in, it'll pop up, I'm sure. All right. There he is. All right. Let me share my scene. Now, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie, really. When I first saw the guy, I was like, wow, he has a beautiful smile. Yeah, I said it. I'm human. Jeez. Okay. But the way that people are loving this man right now, I think I have seen anything like this. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this in my life. So you see everything. We're about 3 weeks into this, almost. We're about 18 days into this entire situation. So this is the accused alleged gunman, Luigi Mangione. And this is the one who had who is accused of unaliving Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan that morning, then getting on a bike, an e-bike, and getting out of there, and going through Central Park, dropping off a backpack, then getting into a cab and going to Port Authority, where clearly he got on a bus and left. All right. There are reports that day, and they were saying that day, well, we think he's left the area. So let's go to CNN real quick. And all right, here he is. I am seeing online, and I did not call him this, so do not get on you. But I'm seeing where this young America's boyfriend, unalive. It's just, I just never saw anything like it. I mean, really, this young man has become a folk hero. He has become a folk hero to the point that there are just millions of women and a lot of gay men that are just in love with this guy. So Luigi. Let's take a look at the video. Actually, before we even get there, let's do a little bit Luigi is, because it wasn't like he was just some guy off the street that said, okay, I'm going to leave my 9-to-5 job and I'm mad and I'm going to go shoot a CEO. No. This young man is from privilege. Quite a bit of privilege as well. His family, from what I understand, owns...
Okay, so we're at the film festival, middle of Park City. The doors open, and bam.
Okay. Can we actually get to the video of Luigi, please?
Sapphire Reserve premiere party. These strips are the best. At our week, we had our own private viewing. At race week, the launch was right next. We were there in Paris. Exclusive events and...
Okay, while the ad runs. So, he's from a prominent Baltimore family. Luigi was educated actually where I'm from, in Philadelphia, at University of Penn. Now, here's the video.
Walls of Brooklyn's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center. From Ivy League rich kid to inmate number 52503-511. That is Luigi Mangione's new identification inside the walls of Brooklyn's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center, commonly known as MDC. The 26-year-old is the latest high-profile inmate at the Federal Detention Center. Former inmates include sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, farmer bro Martin Shkreli, and R. Kelly. Currently, Sean Diddy Combs is also being held there on federal charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Mangione and Combs also sharing a lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, who is working on Mangione's case with his wife and lead counsel, Karen.
I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and I believe inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit of the Metropolitan Detention Facility.
Agnifilo recently argued to move the music mogul before trial because of the conditions at MDC. While the department wouldn't confirm details of any specific inmate, policy shows upon arrival they undergo a 21-day evaluation to determine in what unit they will be held. Because Mangione's case is high profile, it's likely he will be housed in what's called the SHU, a unit where inmates are separated from the general population, largely for safety reasons.
His interactions will be limited. I think the oversight will be far more significant. I think he'll be subject to a lot less.
For basic unity.
In recent years, inmates, attorneys, and activists have sounded the alarm on issues like violence, overcrowding, staffing shortages, even power outages. In September, a federal judge condemned the facility's conditions, prompting the Bureau of Prisons to appoint an urgent action team to, quote, take a holistic look at the challenges at MDC Brooklyn.
So it was a big deal, and I think that tells you all you need to know with respect to what's happening. Yeah, there.
As for Mangione, a Bureau of Prisons handbook outlines daily life behind bars, including a 6 a.m. wake-up call for breakfast, sweeping and mopping his cell, a new change of clothes 3 days a week, and a chance to shop in the commissary once every 2 weeks, where he can buy candy bars, crossword books, and deodorant. In Pennsylvania, more than 150 donations were made to Mangione's commissary account. The Bureau of Prisons won't...
This is what I'm talking about. This right here is what I'm talking about. They love Luigi so much already. He got money on his books. He got money on his books. He got, he's got over $100,000 in legal fees. GoFundMe keeps taking all of the campaigns down that are put up for him, because people want to put him up. People want to pay for this guy. They want to pay his legal fees. They want to do everything. I mean, Luigi is from privilege. He has chronic back pain, which I totally understand. He and I have had the same surgery. I have had a spinal fusion as well. I've actually had two in my neck, one here and one here. He has had them much lower in his back, down by your lumbar and sacrum, which is way down by your butt. So that down there, walking and moving, any kind of movement can cause pain. So I can, I really can identify with his chronic pain. I have been, disabled for a while with chronic pain. So it is something that can really literally affect your mental health, really literally make you unreasonable. There are millions of us that wake up in pain every single day and have to deal. You have to deal. Now, a friend of mine and I were talking, and she said, why did Mangione choose Thompson? Why not the Cigna guy? Why not the Humana guy? I don't know. I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that the conversation is open now. The conversation about healthcare is open again. When you deal with healthcare, you're not just buying a car, and people put more time into that. You're not just buying a car. You're not buying a pair of jeans, going to get a burger. This is your life, your health. The only way that you're going to get to see a future. That's how important that is. And patients and caregivers should have the power to what's going on in the system. Got to express needs. And that's why I'm here, Healthcare BFF, because I'm determined to help you just that. I am really sick and tired of how healthcare is, and I've been screaming about it for 15 years. It is absolutely ridiculous how people are treated. And I know because I've worked in healthcare and I've been a party to it. I had to feed my kid too. There are a lot of people that left healthcare. Ask them why. Ask them why. During COVID, we saw people leaving healthcare in droves because they showed them they don't care about you. They don't care. Like a lot of jobs, they don't care. Do the minimum. If you're getting minimum wage, do the minimum. You got people like Elon Musk wanting to be the president now and dictating what should happen with cancer research for children. There's a special place in hell for you making decisions like that and they go through. There's a special place in hell for you. How are you feeling about that Tesla now? Anyway, I was going to get one until I found out who he was, and then I would never buy a Tesla, ever. But anyway, I mean, we've got Luigi. He gets away from the scene on December 4th, early morning hours. All right. He gets on the e-bike, gets to Central Park, ditches the backpack, gets in a cab, gets to Port Authority. All right. Now I'm thinking, okay, this kid, he, like I said, he may not be Navy SEALs or like, sniper level, like sitting on top of the roof and pew, 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 right? But he got the job done. And he was cold and methodical with it. Cold. I saw him. I was like, yo, he's calm. See me, I'll be trying to shoot somebody. I'll be like, because I'm scared. Nothing like that. So he gets out of town. All right. So a few days go by. I'm thinking this kid's like in Seattle. He got all the way across the country. He is all the way getting ready to take a ferry to Canada or something like that. Or he got all the way down by Mexico. He's by the border. Right? Okay. Well, apparently not. Luigi got to Altoona, Pennsylvania. And see, we live in Philadelphia. Me and my family live in Philadelphia, greater Philadelphia region. So, and I've been to Altoona. There's a prison there and apparently a McDonald's. So on Monday, I believe last week now. So last Monday, Luigi's in, the Monday after the Pew Pew. He's in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Okay. And, as I said, I live in Pennsylvania. So, and I've been to Altoona before. There's a prison and apparently there's a McDonald's. Okay. So, it's not like I'm going there like, ooh, girl, I want to go to Altoona. No, nothing like that. It's mid-state Pennsylvania. And you got Pittsburgh on one side, Philly on the other side, and Pennsylvania, Bama in between. So that'll tell you how Altoona is. So apparently Luigi's in there having a little breakfast. And I guess one of the patrons of McDonald's goes to the employee and says, hey, look, I think this is the kid that had something to do with that CEO the other day. So we have the McDonald's employee who calls 911 and reports Luigi. I believe her name is Nancy Parker out of Altoona. At first on her Facebook, before she got rid of it, I saw a picture that said, yes, I'm the person who reported the Pew Pewer of Brian Thompson, and now I'm a target. Honey. Honey should have minded her make business, okay? She should have put the fries in the bag and minded her make business. I bet she wishes she did. I shouldn't say she should have. I bet she wishes she would have minded her make business, because the internet found out her name, child. They wore Nancy Parker out, baby. They wore her out. She made that call. The police came to the McDonald's. They asked Luigi, have you been in New York lately? He's in, and they're saying that he got shook. He started shaking. Oh my goodness, he's, upset. So they were like, oh yeah, that's the guy. So they took him. Well, apparently the woman who reported him, Nancy Parker, got played by the government and big corporations with that one phone call to 911, because she didn't call a tip line for NYPD or the FBI, so she ain't getting no money. She ain't getting no money. It would have to go through, committees, and these people have to, this and that, and they say up to $10,000, up to $50,000, and that comes with capture, arrest, indictment, conviction. You got to jump off through those hoops. Nancy would have been waiting for that money for a really long time, but she's not getting nothing. And then to put the cherry on Nancy Parker's cake, they fired her. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing because of the irony of it all. She got played by the government and big corporations with one phone call. I bet she wishes she would have minded her make business. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So Luigi, now he's America's boyfriend, right? And he is, yes, a handsome young, very handsome. educated at the University of Penn. Honey, there was no way I was getting in the University of Penn. I would have never. I didn't even try to apply there. Because why? Because why? But apparently, Mr. Mangione did a bachelor's and a master's at Penn, which is not easy. So clearly, he's intelligent and very well educated. All right, we got that part. We got the handsome, we got the well educated, and we've got the wealthy. If it wasn't for the situation, I think he'd be a great catch. But because you ask whatever woman you want to ask. Wealthy, handsome, educated, and intelligent. What woman's turning that down? Or gay man? Who's turning that down? So he's got all these factors, and he has a manifesto, or what they're calling an alleged manifesto. And it talked about whacking, excuse me, tomato, unaliving the CEO at the annual Bean Counter Conference. And he did just that. So Luigi was in jail in Altoona for a while. And in Pennsylvania, his charges are going to be for the fake ID, for the 3D printed pew pew. Let's see what else. The fake ID, the pew pew. Let's see, forgery and the gun charges. He got forgery and gun charges in PA. And in New York now, he's got state and Fed charges because now they're calling it terrorism. It's terrorism. And, I've seen some legal analysts talk about it, and it's, it's cool. They're saying like it's the pure definition of terrorism. And I'm like, okay, well, all right, it is. But I wonder if the state and the feds are going to both have him on the same crime. That doesn't sound right, So, they walked Luigi back yesterday on the 21st. On the 20th, Friday. And he got out of the helicopter and he had like 60 cops and the whole display. And New York City Mayor Eric Adams had to be there to look at that criminal in his eye. Yeah, one criminal to another. One criminal to another. The irony of it all. So we got Luigi. And, the authorities, they're trying to make it, make people, like, make Luigi look horrible, like in every aspect, I've seen people that have unalived people and been taken to Burger King. So they pick and choose how they want to treat folks. But I don't know. I'm not a cop. I'm not in law enforcement or anything like that. So what do I know? I do know healthcare. I do know that. And I do know that this is going to be a topic for a long time coming. This brazen act that Luigi allegedly committed. This has been the biggest thing in a while in healthcare. And I feel like the people feel like they won. I don't, because I'm not celebrating an unaliving. I'm not doing that. He still does have family that cares and loves him. And, this really was a human being that lost their life. How many human beings did he cause to lose their life? How many human beings did he sanction? that it was okay to lose their life while he was in his house and his wife had her own house. They're estranged. You know, I mean, I don't know a lot of people with two houses. Do you? If so, God bless you. But I don't know a lot of people with two houses. Not me. You all benefited from it. That's why America doesn't care. America doesn't care. America does not care. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. You know, I don't think there's, any kind of argument about how America feels about it. And I don't think that we should be told how to feel about it. Instead of worrying about how we feel about it, focus on changing healthcare. Focus on that. There's a lot to change. There's a lot to do. The costs are ridiculously high. And you've got people like United Healthcare who say they'll cover your costs if they want. And you want us to feel, healthcare, it's just a mess. It's been a mess. And Luigi was right. America spends the most on healthcare in the world. And we have infant mortality rates are horrible. Maternal mortality rates are horrible. And let me not even get into Black people. That's always 3 times as worse. But if that, what's up, babe? Oh, thank you. Can you bring that back, please? That other thing? Real quick. Thank you. So, I were they both killers? People are calling Brian Thompson a serial killer. Thank you, baby. Is that true? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But I have to say that it's opened a lot of conversation, and there's going to be more and more and more and more to come. And as your healthcare BFF, I am going to be here to report it to you. I am going to let you know what's going on with this story. I'm going to keep up with it for you. I'm going to come to you and let you know what's happening. I think we've got everything Luigi that, we understand. And now he's in the same prison as Sean Diddy Combs. I hope Luigi is safe. So there's going to be a lot upcoming in this. And I want you to think about the healthcare perspective in it. It's time that we got more from healthcare. It is time that we got more from healthcare. But it's in our hands to be able to do what we need to do. I show people every day how to do their healthcare. Every day. It's doable. Let's get more out of it. I don't know if we have the power to change what goes on in the boardroom. I don't know why our healthcare decisions are being made in the boardroom and not where the doctor is at the hospital with the patient. Even when I worked in, hospitals, nursing facilities, those orders would come from the boardroom of who to, I was discharge planner, social worker, discharge planner. So I would help patients leave the hospital. We would have orders from the boardroom on who to put out. And it didn't matter how, get them out. This is what happens in healthcare, even if you've got great insurance. Your insurance can be Cadillac, premium, super. And if a doctor doesn't want to treat you correctly, they won't. I don't care what your insurance is, even though that is your access to care. And there is insurance bias. in the system. The system does not like to deal with Medicaid or any Medicaid offshoot because of Medicaid, not because of patients. Because Medicaid doesn't pay back properly or in a timely fashion. Patients are affected. This is the stuff I'm saying. This event has been a stone that's thrown in a pond. And the ripples are going to be wide and long lasting. So I'm going to be here with you through it, the whole thing. I'm starting my online journalism thing, and I do have a journalism degree from Temple, a master's. So I figure I better dust it off and do something with it. So I'm going to do my journalism online, and I'm going to let you know about healthcare stories. This will be the biggest one for the foreseeable future. So I will keep you updated and let you know everything I know going on with Brian Thompson, his family, United Healthcare, Luigi, healthcare, caregiving, social services, patient care. Let's start getting our power. Let's start claiming our healthcare power. We deserve it. We need to discover what it is, how to use it, and how to squeeze every single penny out of our healthcare. Don't we pay enough for it? Don't we? Even if you're on Social Security, you're still paying for your health care. You're still paying for insurance. We all pay for it. And those that don't have it, don't even go get care. This is why I mean, if you have health insurance, that's your ability to go get care. It is your access. We got to do better than this. We got to take our power. I believe, in a way, maybe Luigi thought that's what he was doing, but this wasn't the right way. It definitely wasn't the right way. But you've got, he's a hero to America. You want us to feel bad for someone who sanctioned 1 in 3 people, patients at that company not getting what they're paying for. I mean, as a human, yes, if this was anyone else and I heard about it, I'd be like, oh, that's so horrible. And it is still horrible, everything that's happened. But you want us to feel for somebody that wasn't the best person. I have a hard time with that. So does America. And I believe the tide will begin to turn because I'm seeing even same day as the event with Brian Thompson, Anthem CEO, she was talking about limiting anesthesia during surgery. Who does that? What are you supposed to wake up with a knife in you? Who even let that become a news story? Doesn't it have to go through a whole, I've been in administration before, healthcare administration, so I know that before things are released to the news and the public, it has to jump through a bunch of hoops, like a lot of people have to approve it. All y'all did that? And you sleep at night? United Healthcare. You deny 1 in 3 claims. Your C-suite can sleep at night? I'm not hearing bad stories about Cigna. I'm not hearing bad stories about Aetna and Humana. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure they've got their crap. But to the level of 1 in 3 people can't get the care that they're paying you for? Honey, who's going to deal with that? When I first heard about this, right on top of that, when I heard, I said, they were like, is in Midtown Manhattan. I was like, okay, so it won't be long before they have video because there's too many cameras and too much money out in Midtown Manhattan for somebody to not like say anything or whatever, you know. But I just, I'm conflicted. I think America is conflicted. Healthcare has to do better by us. It's a right, not a privilege. We all have a body that needs maintenance, like our cars. There's nothing wrong with bringing your car into the garage. Yeah, you got to pay for that too. But my mechanic's not trying to profit off of me. He's not telling me, oh yeah, pay for this motor, but you can't have it. Where do they do that at? Where do they do that at? Apparently, United Healthcare. And we're going to talk more about it. We're going to talk more about that, Luigi, Brian Thompson, and all the upcoming things that are going to happen in the next coming days. So look for me to be here, your healthcare BFF. And I want you to be my new healthcare BFF. Well, not healthcare BFF, just my new BFF. And follow me everywhere. Like, subscribe, share, tell every caregiver you know and patient you know that I am here for them and I am going to be serving them, giving them healthcare information. And in 2025, I'm going to be doing a campaign for caregivers as far as healthcare and getting them more involved. So I am your healthcare BFF. Please like, subscribe, and share. Follow me everywhere. And I will see you soon. Bye.